and gentlemen, welcome to the most spectacular show on earth.
Excuse me, sir, can we help you? You know circuses?
1931. It was the Benzini brothers.
That's the most famous circus disaster of all time. Are you telling me that you were there for...
Right in the middle of it.
All right, like water for elephants.
Or just water for elephants.
Just
it's not like water for
It's
elephants?
not like water for chocolate. It's like it's
Like sands through the hourglass?
no, it's just water for elephants.
All right. You got thirsty elephants? We got water.
Although, to be fair, this movie has more whiskey for elephants than it has water.
Well,
whiskey and something else that I kept trying to figure out what it was. It wasn't exactly
Was it absinthe?
moonshine.
Well, no, it was like,
it was
okay.
some concoction that this guy had to make because there was it said during Prohibition.
Yeah. And
So
Depression
it's
and
just
all
some bullshit that actually makes you paralyzed
they
after
actually-
a long time of drinking
Got a
it.
bathtub,
I was like,
too.
where do I get
Yeah.
that shit?
for an elephant, that's fine. If you're
Yeah.
a human, don't drink this shit.
yeah.
that. That's the stuff when I was a bartender we used to push. We'd be like, don't be a pussy. What, you're going to do whiskey shots? What?
Yeah,
Look at little girl. Here, have this. What is it?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
No shit. Yeah. But I heard this stuff will make you paralyzed. Well, what are you, a basketball player? Come on, drink this shit. Come on.
No, I'm a pachyderm.
Are you going to do one with me? Fuck no.
So this movie, based on a very popular book, came
Yeah.
out in 2006.
I think award-winning even.
Oh, I think so. Would it win like the Pulitzer equivalent of Elephant Award or
the
something?
Elephant Book Award.
Yeah, something like that. Well, all I know
Elephantitis
is
Award. I don't know.
I don't know who the movie's popular or the book is popular with because I ran in on the screening that you guys went tonight. Not even a screening. You guys have to go see this at midnight tonight. And first of all, I walked in. First of all, I walked in. It was like the end of Do the Right Thing, except with animals. They were losing their fucking shit in this movie. I don't know. I saw a little girl almost get eaten by a tiger and shit. I ran out the
damn.
theater. I was like, fuck this.
I hate I missed that.
Yeah, no, and
He loves seeing children get eaten by large jungle cats.
I mean, I love seeing animals attack anybody. Yeah. Especially circus animals who've been chained up. To me, that's just like watching a slave revolt.
yeah, it is, man. It is like an uprising.
Whenever they had that footage of when an elephant breaks loose and just starts killing everybody in the stands in the circus, I fucking love that.
I know
Revenga!
I know. Leon is standing up. Spartacus. We'll follow you, Spartacus. But I was looking at that movie, then I turned back to the audience, and the audience is full. And I'm not trying to make a Robert Pattinson joke. Is that his name, Pattinson?
It's Pattinson.
Pattinson.
I want to be like Medea and put an R in there. Patterson.
Yeah, it's
you know?
it's bad.
Yeah, I keep
Pattinson,
wanting
yeah.
to say Patterson because that sounds more like a normal
It
person's
does,
name
yeah.
as
But
opposed
when I
to
look
whatever
up,
the fuck
it-
that.
Yeah, but he's a
Yeah.
vampire. Come on.
Well, see, that's the thing, man. I look up and it looks like the audience for Twilight because there are a bunch of like early 20 to teenage white girls in there.
Thing is, it's
Oh,
like-
you missed,
nothing but
you missed
girls.
all the Spoonies, the fans of Reese Witherspoon, who was sitting there also.
You mean me and Cyrus?
There might have been some crossover 10 years ago. Okay, this book is reportedly, I still haven't read it yet, reportedly fantastic. And what you get from the story, which is clearly from the book, you go, wow, this is great. I now want to read this book even more than I did before because I'm like, this is a fucking kick-ass story. But somebody in the studio goes, you know what? That's just not enough. We need to put the guy from Twilight in there. And it's not like he's wrong from a financial point of view because that theater was fucking packed.
Yeah, it was,
man,
yeah.
With a bunch of these people with the disposable income, the number one biggest movie-going public, that demographic.
Sure.
You know?
Because I was actually shocked. I was like, now I know all these teenagers aren't here to fucking see the newest Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, what are they seeing? And I forgot that the Twilight dude, Robert Pattinson, was actually in this. So when I got bamboozled when I was thinking I was going to go see Tyler Perry and I had to go to the other theater, I was just like, oh shit, is this going to be a lovey-dovey?
Yeah, but when you walked in and saw all those hot little teenage girls, I
I
thought you were
couldn't see them. It was pitch black.
Yeah, it was already dark by the time it got in there.
Fucking movie
This
started.
big old bucket of popcorn.
I know. I had my Tyler Perry wig on and all my
So much shit with he's waddling like the circus fat lady. And
By the way, this novel and the author, I think, is a woman named Sarah Gruen. It's won several awards. So apparently, I was just confused because I was wondering, is this like a book that's popular with young adults or older audiences? Or is it like across the board?
It seems to be
think
across the board from
yeah.
what I've heard. It's one of those books that was like, on multiple notable lists, including like the New York Times. But the story is kind of classic. It's very broad in some ways, but it's obviously also got some pretty interesting subtext that refers to what's going on today with our own economic situation, because it takes place during the Depression.
When you think about joining the circus, you don't realize you're actually joining the mob who's running the circus.
Yeah. But yeah, the story is enjoyable on a number of different levels. Although if there's a downfall for this film, I feel it's that it could have been so much more interesting if they'd paid attention more to some of the subtext instead of just watching Robert Pattinson get all moony-eyed.
Right, which I thought I don't want to say he's like the weakest link of this film,
but he is.
But you know what? In a way, he is. I mean, because I couldn't tell if it was the script's fault that they just weren't giving him too much, because a lot of it's done with narration.
Yeah.
By him.
Can somebody tell me what the story is?
I'm gonna tell you. Just come on, man.
We saw it. Let me tell the story.
Yeah.
Modern day, an old Hal Holbrook showing up in a modern day circus, and they're like, "What are you doing? You run away from the home?" And the guy brings him in and talks to him. He's like, "You know what, dude? I was like used to be in the circus. Let me tell you a story, motherfucker." And he sits this guy down, and he goes, "I used to be Robert Pattinson." And then the guy's like, "Oh fuck, I thought maybe you were Eric Bana or somebody, but Jesus Christ, that's what we're in for." Anyway, so he
Hal
was a
Holbrook
guy.
plays like an older version of
very,
Robert
very
Pattinson.
briefly, and
Okay.
like bookends.
Okay.
And so you see back in the 30s, young Robert Pattinson, he's about to graduate from veterinary school. His parents, his very, very Polish parents are all too proud of him. And he goes off to take the final test where he's sitting next to his best girl. He's like, they're getting ready that night to take her virginity flat out. They're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be your first man. This is gonna be the best day ever." And then they come in and go, "Oh, by the way, your parents just died in a car accident, and
Dick just goes limp.
and your the house and everything in it was mortgaged to the bank for your college education, so you can't come back here either. So we'll see you later." So he goes out wandering beside the train tracks, and the train's coming, so he jumps on it, and it turns out it is a circus train. It's like, carrying the whole circus from town to town. And he's trying to help by shoveling shit and everything and doing all that stuff. But there's a caste system. It's like you don't talk to people above you in the caste system. You're a shit shoveler, so you pretty much can't talk to anybody. Just don't talk to anyone. Don't talk. Is what they tell him.
Just shovel shit.
Yeah, the guy from Dawn of the Dead comes in and tells him Ken
Foray, who just makes a cameo.
You see that line right there?
Yeah.
That line's above you.
Yeah.
You don't make eye contact with the line.
Don't even talk to the line while you're shoveling his shit. Seriously, he will kick your ass if you did.
Yo, man, I just moved up to wiping elephant ass. You don't get to my level. I shoveling shit yet.
Pretty much.
Look, I lost that Tyler Perry gig, so this is the only movie that was filming next door. So
Christoph Waltz, who of course is known from in his amazing villainous role in Inglourious, in Inglourious Bastards, and he seems like a really charming guy. Pretty much,
Yeah.
I mean, a hard ass, no question. He is the owner of this circus, but the guy's about to literally throw him off the train. He's like, "Look, I don't need another shit shoveler. So I appreciate your enthusiasm, but see ya." When he's like, "I'm a veterinarian. Seriously, I have my degree." Lie.
You ride my train, you eat my food without my permission, while hard-working men labor all day for the same privileges. And these filthy roustabouts are my family. You are an intruder. Next stop, throw 'em off. Probably study poetry.
Studied veterinary science, not poetry. And I can tell you one thing. That star attraction horse of yours, it's not going to be walking in a few weeks, let alone performing.
Earl, wait. Veterinary sciences. What school?
Cornell.
You're a Cornell graduate?
You did work the rubes for me this afternoon. Pretty good.
I'm sure Ringling has his own vet.
I guess we could use a veterinarian. So what you get here is him forming a sort of odd relationship / friendship with Christoph Waltz, who really does need him. I mean,
The focal points of this story is like, first of all, there's a love triangle between Christoph Waltz. Is Reese Witherspoon his wife or his
It's
girl?
his wife.
It's his wife. So
who's admittedly really gorgeous in this film.
come on, that's his wife. And then you have Robert Pattinson who comes in and like starts kind of tempting her.
Yeah.
And they form a relationship. And then you also have Christoph Waltz, who the great thing about it is that Christoph Waltz is a villain in this movie, and we all love to hate villains, but he's not a character that you can completely hate. From what I hear, there are scenes of like uncomfortable animal torture in this.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that gets you to hate him. But as you said, co-host, you can't completely hate the guy, at least not for most of the movie, because you realize this guy's under a lot of stress. His business is going under. Goddamn vampire over here is taking his girlfriend. I mean, and so
because you find out quickly that this guy, he is a complete hard ass, right? I mean, he will be a dick to anybody who is even the mildest reason to be a dick to. But then you also see other sides of him as it goes along, because you discover what was the deal with the circuses back then. The fact is they were dying left and right, because there was a heyday for circuses before the Depression when they were everywhere. But the Depression hit. I mean, there's a scene where they're driving by a circus that's just falling apart, and like people, circus performers like begging them, starving for hoping for jobs.
The rotting corpse of a circus. You see a clown like half decayed, like looking at the sun with his arm up, screaming for help.
The fat lady is skinny.
The fat lady is eating the clowns. Like they're eating the clowns and monkeys and shit over there.
Complete apocalypse.
So, I mean, you really they in a way that's convincing. They go, wow, this guy has to be a hard ass, until the elephant starts coming into it, because anybody who fucking comes at an elephant with a spiked hook and just starts beating it, you're like, nah, dude, you fail.
But what I understand, the weakness comes in is that you have such a great villain there, and you have such a charismatic actor, but then you get this romance with Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson, and it does not work at all.
It's ham-handedly dealt with in just the way it's directed, too. It just, it felt, did you feel like, why are they even becoming lovers at all or interested in each other? I was like, why can't they just be friends? The story would be so much more interesting if they had stayed friends.
You're absolutely right, because I was like, there's no real need to push it, because it did seem a bit forced. Where, these characters were just interesting enough to where you did not need that element of a romance.
And every time it came into it was when Pattinson fell apart.
I told Cyrus, I was like, you know what, this guy, when he actually has to act with Christoph Waltz, that was probably the hardest day of his life.
So awkward.
Really trying to keep that momentum. Almost like Keanu Reeves working with Al Pacino. Where it's like, wow, this guy.
I would say even worse.
You're right.
It's like when the camera stops, you can hear Christoph Waltz. Come on, man.
Because you can almost see him almost give up in a way, because he just fails to emote anything. Where are the special effects when I need them for my performance?
He's being confronted by Christoph Waltz in one of the most tense scenes in the film, and his way of dealing with it is like looking down at the ground and shuffling his feet. Wait, what? Are you serious?
It really is, and he just becomes like a stone wall.
Come on, when you put to shame by Christoph Waltz in a scene, what would you do? Just look down and be like, oh, well.
Having a regular everyday conversation with Christoph Waltz, you probably kind of feel like that.
That guy, he has become the master of the nice menace. The more he's smiling, the more menace you feel.
That's exactly what he's like here, because in this film there's scenes where you're like ready to forgive him everything he's done before, because he's charming and funny and fun to be with, and then the next scene he'll do something psycho, but then he'll be totally vulnerable about it and be like, I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
If he was beating you, he'd probably be so charming about it. You just let him do it.
Well, it'd be like getting beaten by Christoph Waltz is like getting an autograph, really.
Exactly. Come on. I'd gladly let him beat the shit out of me.
See this black guy, this scar right here? That's what Christoph Waltz signed my face with his fist.
I would turn into a cowering disco ball. I mean, just because I have nothing else better.
Christoph Waltz.
I don't know what to do.
Christoph Waltz goes to Starbucks, order a coffee, and when he walks away, that bitch is naked at the counter. That's how charming he is.
I was like, you know what, that guy, if they actually needed somebody who needed to fucking play the Joker, that is the fucking guy.
Or any Batman villain. Really.
Any fucking
Batman.
any guy. If that
he'd
guy
probably
was
be a really good Mr. Freeze.
Batman, oh man, it'd be
Well,
fucking
let me ask
win-win.
you something. The book, and you guys have not read the book. I don't know if this is even going to matter to you. I just want to know how the story is outside of the performances, because they changed a lot from the book. The book is delivered more as a mystery, and they say that's what's probably going to throw some hardcore fans
No,
off.
there's no mystery.
But they changed that to make this more of a romance in the movie.
That doesn't surprise me one bit, because like I said, the romance stuff is the stuff that's really ham-handed, whereas everything else is really involving, I mean, that the anger that Robert Pattinson has towards Christoph Waltz's character, when he's a veterinarian, he loves animals, and he sees this guy just being so abusive, you're like, you feel that shit, no question. But a lot of the thrill too is just that you get a sort of view of the way circuses worked and the inner works of all these little details that are fascinating,
which is shot beautifully. Just the inner workings of a circus. Like, you almost wish like this whole movie was nothing but about the circus, because they make it so fascinating you don't want to leave it. You almost
Even
like
you,
it makes
Leon.
you actually want to go to a fucking circus.
That was funny. Tonight, let me just tell a quick story here before we get out of here. Tonight,
Uncle Corey's story.
Yeah, gather around, children. Let me tell you a story. No, seriously, because this is funny, because I didn't know this. Tonight, earlier all day today, we were talking about, now, who's going to go see what movie? And co-host is saying, I'm going to go see Tyler Perry's Medea movie. And I'm like, okay, we decide on that. I remember you saying that. I was like, yeah. And Leon comes in and is like, well, how are we going to split this up? And Cole's like, I thought I just told you. I'm going to go see Tyler Perry. And Leon shoots another email off. Seriously, I can go see Tyler Perry. Leon even doesn't just say where. He just shows up tonight. Co-host rolls in and he's like, fuck, Leon, what are you doing here?
I know. I just jumping up in the background of the email. I'm going to see like Water for Elephants.
Yeah.
See Water for Elephants.
And you like, I ain't having none of it. I don't want none of that black foolishness. I'm going to see Water for
Elephants. I'm seeing Water for Elephants.
I want elephants. No black people. I want elephants. And so there's a standoff for a little while. Co-host looking at Leon looking at co-host, and Leon ain't budging. And fun, he just rolled out like, fuck, man, all right. Then get here tonight, and I hear the first thing I hear is like, Leon didn't go because he doesn't like circus movies.
Yeah.
Do you have a phobia of circus movies as well?
It's not a phobia. It's just, I'm not afraid to see him. I just don't enjoy the circus. I don't enjoy seeing it live. I don't enjoy seeing movies about it. Matter of fact, I didn't enjoy seeing movies about it until Tim Burton made so many movies that feature circuses in them. I'm like, wow, I really don't like this at all.
Okay, so there's no clown shit going on with you.
No, it's not like
so
a
if I start going like,
not at all.
You're not going to freak out or anything?
No, the thing is, like,
regularly people say, hey, I got free tickets to the circus. I'm like, no, keep it.
The thing is, I looked at Cyrus and I was just like, God damn it. It's like, I'm all ready to go see Tyler Perry. Now I got to fucking watch this. And I was like, well, what's Leon's deal? He's like, all he told me was he doesn't like movies about circuses. And I was like, who the fuck does Leon think he is? Like, just because it's about a circus, he can't go see it? Fuck him.
You know what, man? Let me tell you something.
Now, to be fair, co-host, if I had rolled up into the Tyler Perry movie after it had started and you had already been sitting there, I would have gone over.
Let me tell you something, man. This Negro's lying, okay?
I know. I was like,
he lost his parents at the circus when he was a kid. Couldn't find them. Everywhere he turned, there was a clown. You lost your parents, little boy.
You got to fight with Batman for like 20 years.
All I want to do is fucking dress up like a fucking clown, and when fucking Leon's asleep, I'm gonna wake his ass up with a big ass smile, looking right down.
I'm gonna be right behind you.
This is interesting new information.
I want him to look like that girl that was stuck in that closet during The Ring, where they find her petrified body.
Yeah, they go find Leon.
I think we should all be clowns for Halloween.
You guys are wasting your time. I love Shakes the Clown. It's just movies about the circus. I don't want that.
As long as they're drunk. As long as they're drunk, they're okay.
Yeah, ours is that clowns give you the shakes. You know what, man? I'm sorry. I didn't. Back to our regular scheduled review. I just had to tell people this because I was fascinated.
It's positively fucking moving, this film. I mean, you tear up a little bit towards the end.
Especially the greatest thing is if anybody outacted anyone, it was that elephant outacting.
Was awesome.
Or Robert Pattinson, because you can't help but like really get attached to that elephant while you're watching her. Her name is Rose in the movie. Yeah. But you can't help Rosie. Yeah, you can't help but get attached to it.
You're joking about that elephant acting. The elephant's name is Ty. Elephant is a veteran actor, 42 years old. I think Cyrus and her were born in the same hospital. That elephant is like an acting veteran.
Wow.
Had a one elephant show on Broadway, all that kind of stuff.
I expect to see that elephant needs to be on fucking the actor studio. I know we've been bashing on the romance element of it, but in some cases, maybe it was good that it was there, because whenever there's a scene where those two, Robert Pattinson and Reese Witherspoon, got together, all you can say to yourself watching those scenes is like, you're fucking up. You are fucking up bad. Get the fuck away from her.
Yeah, no. What are you, an idiot?
Don't forget who you're fucking married to.
I bet every single person in this circus, every chance they get, says, don't fuck with that guy, Christoph Waltz. Don't fuck with him. Don't do anything that might irritate him. Don't even talk to him. And Christoph Waltz isn't giving him an opportunity to be ignored, because he's like, I love you. You're like my veterinarian guy. You're going to save the circus.
You're my number one guy.
But with all this going on, I mean, this is already a tense situation. What does he do? He just moon eyes constantly for no reason. She's not feeding him anything. I think he's not like really going like, oh, I want you, no, stay away. Oh, I want you, no, stay away.
She ain't flashing him no titties or nothing like that.
Yeah, it's like, he's like, come on, baby. And you're like, no, dude, you're an idiot. idiot.
she's
What are
even
you
telling
doing?
him, look, pretend you didn't even see me.
Yeah, she keeps
even
saying,
there's
"Stay
a
away
guy
from
at the
me."
beginning who's like, oh, who's that girl? Forget you saw her.
So what you're saying is that Christoph Waltz really is a threatening villain in this. I mean, you really feel.
Oh, absolutely.
You feel scared.
He owns
with which
owns
not to fuck.
everything.
Yeah.
That man, that's a guy that hates Jews, hates elephants. He just got a lot of hate.
Just
It's like, a Jew elephant. Don't even talk about what he do to that.
And the thing is, when you fuck up, I mean, you're pretty much treated like fucking trash.
He's like looking at
you
that.
really
Like,
are.
you see how I beat the fuck at that elephant? That was my hands. Think what I do to a human.
When they running out of money, they're like, shit, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to fire some people. Rather than wait till the next stop, he just throws them off the train at full speed. You know, like, seriously, he's
You're
like, well,
fired.
there you go, you're fired, you're fired.
Which has,
Go.
it's not even a secret. He's like,
Yeah.
when you're in this company, you do the best fucking job you can.
Yeah, you better
Because
not
we
want-
are
you better not get fired.
we are all aware of what happens when you're not needed anymore.
If you're afraid you might get fired, you better leave.
which
once
is
the train stops.
That's
crazy.
That's a true supervillain. That's,
Hey,
that's
guys.
how supervillains fire their henchmen.
Yeah.
Hey, have y'all ever been to the Zilker Park train? I was thinking about going tomorrow. If y'all want to join me.
Uh-oh.
Cyrus, you have failed me for the last time.
I knew this day was coming.
Except that train
The
moves
train
at like
goes, yeah, 5 miles an
5
hour.
miles an hour. It'd just be like just hopping off.
This is because I read the plot out, right?
Before we end this, because we are hitting the 30-minute mark here, and we probably talked enough about this.
And it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, and it's 4 a.m. Yes. Francis Lawrence in the movie. He said the movie looks good, and one of the things I noticed, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful how these animals are just tearing people apart. And I was like, it's directed by Francis Lawrence, who did Constantine and I Am Legend. So-
yeah.
It's not like one thing I'll say about Constantine. I always loved the visual sensibility of Constantine. I thought the story kind of fell apart in a lot of places, but visually it was really neat.
Yeah.
I Am Legend was so badly hurt by the terrible CG in
Yeah.
it that it was hard to really see that. I think that really here it's more of a workman-like job. There's no point where you go, wow, he's doing a terrible job, except maybe he's not that good working with certain actors. It's still, this is so much that is really good and charming about this, and there's enough levels to it that, I'd even see this again. It's a low full price.
I would give it a matinee. Yeah, I mean, I honestly would, but it's a great. It's shocked me. It's a really good film. I mean, it really is.
Okay, Coco, so can you now stop bitching at me about cutting you out of the
No,
Tyler
because I
movie?
still want to see fucking
Still
Tyler
wanted to see
Perry.
Tyler
Wanted to see Medea. Yeah, you get a Medea
I'm a
fix that
Medea
night.
fan. Okay,
That is hard set on that.
Yeah, but no,
So matinee.
it's a matinee. Yeah,
They should have had Medea play the elephant.
So-
what are you gonna do?
So Robert
Give
Pattinson
it a
plays a veterinarian, loves animals.
Yeah,
Loves his
not
animals.
literally.
Oh, okay, I was about to say,
Not- yeah.
isn't that not a scene where he's just staring in the room at the elephant sleeping? just like he did with Bella. Elephant looks up and just kicks him. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Grab that elephant's trunk while it's asleep.
The world's run on tricks. Everyone plays. You must learn, my dear boy, that the rules of these United States of suckers do not apply to us.